Hello Aquarius, here is your weekly horoscope for December 13 to December 19. There's a few things going on. There are a number of Sagittarius planets that are located in your house in the solar chart. The 11th house is ruled by Aquarius, and we have Sun and Mercury in that part of the horoscope for you this week, with Venus moving into that same house in a few days. What that means is the Sun generally provides a very bright spotlight on whatever activities are in the house. So for you, with the Sun in your 11th house, your own domain, the areas of community, society, your hopes, wishes, plans for the future, those become very brightly highlighted this week. Now let's turn to Mercury there as well. Mercury is all about communication and ideas and thoughts and things like that, also travel. So those areas come up for you as well this week as you begin to perhaps look at planning, hoping, dreaming for some changes in the coming year, and that's a good idea to do that. When Venus moves into Sagittarius by midweek as well, and the moon is going to be in your sign of Aquarius around the same time too, you should find that there's a lot more activity with loved ones, family, perhaps finalizing any holiday plans if you can have any, because of course so many people are restricted at this time of year, perhaps you too. But regardless, there is a lot going on this week. It could be whether it is last minute responsibilities at work, or like I said, trying to nail down some last minute holiday plans, gift giving, gift exchange, what have you. But it is keeping you pretty busy overall this week. Uranus is retrograde in Taurus right now. And for your sign, that hits in the area of home, family, real estate. So you're kind of getting itchy feet at home. It could be you're another sign that does not like to be hemmed in. So having to be quarantined for much of this year has probably not been great for you. So you are really getting itchy feet. You want to get moving again and get things back to where you would like them to be. But as well, spending so much time at home in this last little while, maybe you've looked around and you think, you know what, I'm ready for a move. Because if there's any sign that's welcoming to change, it is yours, because you're ruled by Uranus, the planet of change, sudden change. So you may suddenly decide that it's time to be looking at some new real estate or a new home in the coming year. And that could be something to be talked about with any spouse or family members this week, perhaps. Well, now let's get to the chase. Jupiter and Saturn have moved into your sign, or will have moved into your sign, by the middle of this week. Saturn first, a couple of days later. Actually, I believe Saturn is Wednesday and Jupiter on Saturday at the end of this period. The good news is they're out of Capricorn. And the good news is they tend to do much better in the sign of Aquarius, both the planets. First of all, Saturn was the original ruler of Aquarius until Uranus was discovered. Some astrologers still use Saturn as the ruler of Aquarius. I prefer Uranus, but it is still at home in the sign of Aquarius, we'll say. And Jupiter does better in the sign of Aquarius as well, better than it did in Capricorn, let's put it that way. What that means for you is with Jupiter and Saturn conjunct in your sign, you, more than any other sign, have an opportunity in the coming year to really make life be what you want it to be. Don't be surprised if your work or career suddenly takes off. Don't be surprised if maybe there's a problem first, because sometimes Saturn does kind of take things away, but during the conjunction, it's so Jupiter can give. That's the way life is sometimes. We have to give something up to gain in another area. And the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, I call it a push-me, pull-me aspect, because on the one hand, you got Jupiter pushing and you got Saturn pulling back. So there's a lot of indecision, there's a lot of anxiety sometimes with the aspect for some people, and yet the influence of Jupiter is so positive that usually most people will make a very good decision during this time, one that will affect them very positively and their future. So all in all, it should be a pretty good week ahead, and that is just the hint of what's to come with Jupiter-Saturn conjunct in your sign Aquarius. Next week, there'll be more on that separately from the weekly horoscope. Hopefully, you'll tune into that video as well. Have a great week.